When I talk about business analyst, many people usually say that business analyst is all about writing business requirement document or functional requirement document. Let me give you some more indication. What are the various types of jobs you can get into while having the business analysis role? The first one could be a UI analyst, which deals with the wireframes, which deals with the user interface of the application. A typical example is a business analyst for a web application. Now, a typical business analyst is someone who writes documentation that are related to acquiring the requirements. These can be the functional requirement document, the business requirement document, the market requirement documentation, the use case diagrams, conducting workshops. There can be also one more flavor to it, which is of system analysis. So in one of my previous assignment, I worked as a system analyst in order to understand the system and improve its performance and overall output using various tools like Genius, like Splunk, which is very popular now. And this is not only about the non-technical thing, but it also involves some part of your technical aptitude as well. The next flavor to it is a data modeler. Now, to understand data modeler, there are two major differentiation or two ways in which you can look at this role. One is a typical data scientist role that deals with analytics, that deals with data visualization, that deals with data that is in big amount, in big chunks, and you want to understand the data and get a business insight out of it. And the other is business analysis on the data completeness, on making sure that your system get the right set of data. It also involves some sense of data mapping as well. And this at times require deep domain knowledge. Just to give you an example, in one of my previous assignment, I also make sure that the data that get into a bank is complete in the sense when it is trying to communicate with another bank. So earlier they used to communicate using empty messages, but later they moved to an MX format, which is an XML format. Mode of jobs that you can get as a business analyst is of tester. Now, typically, tester seems to be very diminishing role. Nobody wants to do it, but it is one of the most critical role in the entire SDLC life cycle, which essentially means that when you work as a tester or you get into the shoes of a tester, you need to work as a user acceptance testing level, which means the functionality that the development team has built in, before it get into production, you need to understand whether it satisfies business needs or not, in order to ensure that this feature get into production, it is not breaking any other previous features, and also making sure that it is not introducing new bugs into the system. Now, often at times people will say, why can't a tester do all these things? Well, the answer to this question is because business analyst knows the domain knowledge or have the domain knowledge in depth, which a tester might not be having. So in sync with, of course, with tester who is capable enough to run scripts on the various tools that are available, whether it's JMeter or using ALM or using any other testing scripts or tools, you can enhance the overall quality of the testing team. And the last but not the least is you can also act as a trainer. So after a while, your role can also become as a trainer, as I am doing right now. So just to train people so that we can grow community of business analysts much wider, and this also includes some level of mentorship. So in your career, as you grow, you not only become a business analyst, but at later point in time, you become senior business analyst, or if you are working in Scrum, you become product owner or a product manager. And in those cases, you need to explain and make sure that people under you get also have an enhanced level of maturity in terms of knowledge, and that's where your role as a trainer will come into picture. So these are the various roles that you can think of based on your interest area, and this is not only just about writing documentation.